Hey, what's up everyone? As I previously stated, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus just because I got my appendix taken out, and through the whole healing process, turns out that it didn't heal properly. It got infected, so I had to go back in the hospital. Regardless, you don't want to know about my personal life, but it was a whole mess. Either way, I'm back again with another review, and this time for the highly anticipated newest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain Marvel. So in a super compressed, non-spoilerish nutshell, Captain Marvel starts out with Brie Larson and Jude Law's character. They go on this mission to rescue this undercover Kree operative. Long story short, things go south. Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, whatever you want to call her, is forced to flee the battle scene and inadvertently lands on Earth, where she's greeted by Nick Fury and Agent Coulson, members of S.H.I.E.L.D. All this is going down while Carol Danvers, our main actress here, is getting these weird visions of past lives. She thinks that maybe the Skrulls, these crazy shape-shifting aliens, are putting these images in her head. She doesn't know what's going on, neither do we. Captain Marvel escapes a war scene, falls to Earth, and with the help of Nick Fury and Agent Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D., she's basically going to embark on this mission to kind of take down the Skrulls, and we basically have our movie. Let me just start off by saying there was a lot of hate surrounding this movie, and a lot of misunderstood hate too. People taking articles out of context, people putting certain interviews in these articles but putting up completely misleading headlines. It's happening with a lot of movies now, and people are putting up fake reviews, calling it crap before the movie is even released, weeks before the movie is even released. They're actually doing that with Star Wars Episode 9, months before the movie's even. People can't have anything nowadays. Don't listen to the BS circling around online. Just go see this movie for yourself and enjoy it, because I'm gonna be honest, I had a fun time with this movie. So let's talk about what I liked. Brie Larson killed it as Captain Marvel. I was really worried going into this because after Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I was really worried that they were just going to take her character and give it this goofy, comedic tone, have a million songs playing throughout the movie, and just make every single choice the character did in the movie just seem jokey or goofy. But no, that wasn't the case at all. There wasn't too much goofy or comedic stuff going on in this film. If there was, it felt like it was a part of it for the most part. It didn't feel forced or anything like that. I know we've had a few other strong female characters in the MCU. Shuri from Black Panther, Black Widow from the Avengers, Iron Man 2. Either way, there hasn't really been a moment where there's been a strong woman character in the MCU front and center, and here we have it. It's not too spoilish, but there isn't a ridiculous amount of just feminist stuff in this movie, don't worry. There's not really a lot of jokes bashing men or acting like men are scum. There was like one little joke that, like I said, it's not revealing too much, but there was one little joke. The guy was just like, oh yeah, it's called a cockpit for a reason. But I mean, that was about it. It was just like that one thing. It's not too spoilish, but there isn't a ridiculous amount of just feminist stuff in this movie, don't worry. There's not really a lot of jokes bashing men or acting like men are scum. There was like one little joke that, like I said, it's not revealing too much, but there was one little joke. The guy was just like, oh yeah, it's called a cockpit for a reason. But I mean, that was about it. It was just like that one thing. So now let's talk about the rest of the cast. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, did an amazing job in this movie as a 90s version of Nick Fury, an inexperienced version of Nick Fury. It was neat to see him just kind of screw up sometimes and just laugh things off. He wasn't just brooding, serious character the whole time with just this really dark sense of humor. He almost felt like a different character. I mean, I love that. It was really cool to see how the makeup department did with Nick Fury and Agent Coulson, just making them look so young. If I'm not mistaken, CGI wasn't really involved with this one like they previously did with Kurt Russell and Michael Douglas, but it looked great to me. Clark Gregg is... It's a gray area because in this one, Clark Gregg, Agent Coulson, is basically fresh blood. He's brand new at S.H.I.E.L.D. And he gets some screen time, but it's not enough for me to call it a supporting role. And it's not as little to say that it was just a cameo. It's really a gray area. I wish he could have done more in the film, but I understand. It's called Captain Marvel. I just wish I saw a little more from him. We do get a few characters from other MCU films back in this one, and the best part about it is they're not trying to hold your hand and let you know, hey, I was once with such and such, or I once knew a guy who could throw a hammer. No, it's not even like that. They're characters, they're just part of a mission, they're there. Marvel doesn't try to hold your hand at all, which is the best part for people who've seen these movies a million times, read the comic books, or anything like that. Jude Law's character, nah. I mean, he played the stereotypical character that you've seen done in a million other Marvel movies before. There's nothing special about his character. It's not like it was absolute garbage or anything like that, but it was just like, he's there. I guess. Did what he had to do. That kind of falls into the category for me as a negative. Marvel still has a villain problem, and I know a lot of people out there just like, oh, they don't need a great villain. I was like, but that kind of makes the movie for me, though. Like, you have General Zod and Man of Steel. You had Killmonger, Black Panther, Thanos, Avengers Infinity War. I know Marvel and DC I'm including, but still, that's what makes a movie even more powerful for me. So we have continuity errors, which is very surprising because Marvel's been pretty good with this for the most part. One of the continuity errors I can't really talk about because it goes into spoilers territory, but the other one. So in this one, Nick Fury and Agent Coulson go around flashing their badges, telling everyone that they're agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's funny because in Iron Man, or was it Iron Man 2? Iron Man 1 or Iron Man 2, Coulson is saying that they're part of the Strategic Hazard division. And Iron Man's just like, well, that's kind of long. Can you shorten it? And he says, we're working on that. So, obviously I know it spells S.H.I.E.L.D., but that's what they go by. That's what they went by in the other Captain America movies, too. So, they really didn't start calling themselves S.H.I.E.L.D. until the first or second Iron Man movie. So, a little bit of a continuity error there. There's a few specific moments in this movie, too, where there are recurring elements in previous MCU films. And one of them is a big name that we all know and love today. And Nick Fury comes up with this idea from just looking at a word in a picture. I'm like, really? Like, that's what you did? You just looked at a word and be like, oh, huh, how about I do that? It felt like a cheap cop-out to me. And the other one, like I said, is another big mystery from a lot of past MCU films. And the way they do it is they just shrug it off in some stupid comedic way. And I honestly feel cheated. I wanted some cooler backstory about this specific incident. Or if people were worried about someone, don't show it at all. Let it just be a mystery. Again, with those negatives that I did have, it lowered the movie down a little bit for me. But it didn't take away from this film being good. Obviously, I won't reveal what it is, but Stan Lee probably had my favorite cameo out of all the MCU films in this movie. So in short, guys, great acting, for the most part. Special effects were fantastic. The story was pretty good. Some twists and turns that I didn't expect. Certain previous things that they spoke about in other MCU films that they revealed in this movie that felt like I was cheated, kind of. This movie's fun. Go see it in 4D, IMAX, RPX, Dolby Cinema. It's definitely worth the full price of admission. So guys, there you have it, my review. What I would give it, 7 out of 10.